Another Real 2K recap. We're going to be going over the games from Saturday. We'll start off with the Phoenix Suns, as they have probably the biggest news of the day. Lineup change for them. Tyus Jones, no longer the starting point guard, and they brought Bradley Beal back to the starting unit. So I've got Devin Booker at point guard, Bradley Beal at 2 guard, Royce O'Neal at the 3, KD at the 4, and then Nick Richards kept his starting job. He played at the 5. The Suns ended their 4-game losing streak, beating the Bulls 121 to 117. Booker had 29 points and 8 assists. Beal, in his return to the starting lineup, had 25 points. KD had 27. And then Nick Richards had a bounce-back game, 15 points, 10 rebounds. I did anticipate that he might lose his starting job because Bull started over him in the third quarter of the last game, but solid return for him. If you watched the last Real 2K recap, I had actually dropped his overall rating from an 82 to an 80. O'Neal stayed with the starters. Jones, Allen, Plumlee, and Bull were the 4 that got off the bench. Ryan Dunn was a DNP coach's decision. So Tyus Jones, I ended up dropping his overall rating. His last 10 games as a starter, which ultimately led to his removal from the lineup, 8.5 points, 5 assists, 28 minutes per game, shot only 32% from the field, 33% from 3. Booker was operating more on the ball, so at that point, why are you going to have another point guard in there? So we dropped Jones' overall by 2 points. His close shot, I dropped down to a 91. Offensive consistency down 10 to an 80. A ditto for the shot IQ. And I dropped his pass rating a little bit as assists are down from the last season. Let's head on over to Chicago, where I also made a little bit of position changes for them. I kind of figured. I'll explain my rationale once I go over their lines. Josh Giddey had 24 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 threes, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. Kobe White, 20 points, 8 assists. And then Lonzo Ball, 3 points, only 1 assist, 1 of 9 from the field in 29 minutes. Ayo Dosunmu was a DNP. But I kind of realized that Lonzo is actually more of a small forward with this team than Josh Giddey is. Lonzo's primary backup is Kevin Huerter, who I also did change his position to small forward, which also kind of reflects in his rebound rate with the Bulls. It's higher than what it was with the Sacramento Kings. So I changed Huerter's position, which then boosted his overall rating up to an 80. So I went in and I adjusted his ratings because he's not having a good year at all. So dropped his rating back down to a 78 by adjusting his layup rating down by 5 points. Only a 76 3-point rating. It's been trickling downwards all season. Only at 29.7% this season from 3. 70 shot IQ, down 5 points. Career low 50 true shooting percentage for him. And then only 45 offensive consistency. He's a career low negative 2.8 offensive box plus minus. It's one of the stats I use to calculate that. Let's go over to the Brooklyn Nets, who beat the Sixers 105 to 103 in the battle for play-in supremacy. I believe they move up to 11th, passing the Sixers with that victory. D'Angelo Russell sat this one out, so Killian Hayes on the 10-day contract got the start, had 3 points, 6 assists in 27 minutes. Trendon Watford also had 16 points and 6 assists. He's really also, functionally, he's a point guard, believe it or not, so I have a secondary position as point guard. And then the Sixers, things are starting to fall apart for them even more. 7th straight loss for them. They fell to 12th. Second loss to the Nets, I believe, in the last 2 weeks. So Maxey had 31 points. Embiid, though, only 14 points, 4-13 from the field. Was on the bench in the fourth quarter while the team was making a comeback. Paul George, 15 points in 40 minutes. Lonnie Walker made his debut, though he went over 3 from the field. But Joel Embiid got another rating change for him. He's been kind of up and down this year. right now going through sort of a down period as he had the time off for the All-Star break, and then his last two games post-break have not been great. So I dropped his layup rating to an 80. He's only 57% from the field on layups this year. 84 mid-range was down about 7 points. He's only 41% this year, where he was like around 50% for the last couple years prior. And then his three ball, he's only 29.7% this year, so I dropped that down to a 75. The shot IQ I dropped down a little bit, and then his block rate I dropped down to a 67 -5. He's a career low 3.2 block percentage this year, so not just on the offense but on the defense is where Embiid has slipped a little bit, and the overall rating dropped to 93. It drops him behind Victor Wembanyama. I have Victor ending the year at a 94, and it also ties him with Karl Anthony Towns essentially as the number 3 center in the NBA, whereas last year Embiid was, I believe, my second highest rated player, or top. He was top 3 in MVP voting, right? Between him, Jokic, Shea, and I think Luka rounded out the top 4. Heading over to the Lakers. Speaking of Luka, they beat the Nuggets 123-100, ending the Nuggets' 9-game winning streak, and the Lakers ended their drought against Denver themselves, winning in Denver for the first time since April 20th, 2022. 4 Lakers were in not just double figures. 4 Lakers scored 20 points or more as they kind of ran away with it in this one. The Fat Mamba strikes. Had his first really good game with the Lakers. 32 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, 10 of 22 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, and did all that in only 31 minutes of action, 31 minutes being his Laker high. LeBron had 25 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, 11 of 19 from the field. Austin Reeves, also worth noting, had a couple dunks in this one, including an alley-oop from Luka, so he is playing a little bit more off ball than he did the last couple games with Luka in the lineup. Austin Reeves also had a good game, 23 points, 7 assists. I believe it's the first game that him and Luka have played well. Well, certainly, this is the first game that Luka's played well, but if I recall, Reeves hasn't played well in any of the Luka games, so good to see him develop a little bit of two-man action with Luka. And then Rui Hachimura, 21 points. Really kind of undersold, I think, a little bit as the 4th option, essentially, on this team over the last 10 games for Rui. 18 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 34 minutes per game, 56% from the field, 43% from 3. So I did boost his rating up by 2 points. But the only attribute I really boosted him up was, I boosted up his offensive consistency by 5 points. Otherwise, I normally, for stretch 4s, I typically max out their intangibles rating, as I don't feel like 2K, their formula for power forwards really reflects stretch 4s all that well. And so really that it was more of an oversight that he wasn't like an 80 before. I had him down at like a 79. I think he should at least be the 4th highest rated player on the team ahead of Jackson Hayes. And then for the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic had a triple-double, but probably one of the worst triple-doubles of his career. 12 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, only 2 of 7 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3. If you recall, he was 6 of 14 from 3 in the last one against the Hornets, and then 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Jamal Murray, 19.6 assists, solid line, but not as good as the last couple that he's had recently. Aaron Gordon, 24 points, hit 4 threes. He's playing a lot better of late. And then Michael Porter Jr., since returning, he's been struggling a little bit with his shot, 13 points. I just noticed he's an 86 overall rating, and I wonder if that's because I had him at power forward earlier in the year. No, he's just an 80. So I might have to revisit his rating as he has not been playing as well in the last couple games. But Russell Westbrook, he got to have 17 points against his former team, the Lakers, though he did so on 17 shots. Only 5 other points from the rest of the Nuggets bench. So the first unit outplayed the Lakers' first unit, outplayed the Nuggets' first unit, and then they didn't get anything from the bench to compensate for that. Let's head over to the Utah Jazz. They beat the Rockets, upset the Rockets, really, 124-115. Lauri Markkanen had a bounce back, 23 points, 10 in rebounds. He only had 5 points on 2 of 12 shooting in the last game. KJ Martin got the start as John Collins sat this one out, and he had 11 points on 5 of 9 shooting, 29 minutes against his former team. The second he debuted in the last one for the Jazz, so second game with them. Bryce Sensabaugh started this one for Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson sitting this one out with injury. He had 12 points. And then Keontae George, he had 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists off the bench, where he has been thriving. 14 games since moving to the bench, 18 points per game, 6 assists, 31 minutes per game, 44% from the field. 44% notable because as a starter this year, he only shot 39%. So he is playing a lot better against second units than he was in the starting lineup. So I did boost up his offensive consistency by 5 points, which ended up boosting his overall rating to an 80. Heading over to the Rockets, Jabari Smith Jr. returned to the starting lineup, although it's kind of a dud for him. 3 points, 1 of 8 from the field, 29 minutes. Alperen Şengün, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Jalen Green had 25 points, 10 assists. Amen Thompson had 22 points, 9 rebounds. Tyree Eason did not play in this one, so Jeff Green got some extended run, had a season-high 16 points, hit 4 threes. He has gotten some run of late, so I might have to boost up his rating shortly. Given the gaudy lines, I'm actually a little surprised that the Rockets didn't pull this one out, but I guess Jabari Smith and his dud of a performance in the absence of Eason maybe counteracted things a little bit. Let's head on over to the Portland Trailblazers, who blew out the Hornets by 53 points, 141 to 88. The Blazers shot 59% from the field, 47% from three. Toumani Camara had 20 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 and 9 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. He has been killing it of late. Anthony Simons had a bounce-back game, 25 points. I believe he was 3 of 13 in the last game. Shaedon Sharpe had 20 points off the bench. Jabari Walker had a garbage time special with 20 points and 14 rebounds off the bench. Scoot Henderson added 13 points and 5 assists off the bench in 20 minutes. And of course, Jeremy Grant still managed to shoot only 3 of 10 from the field, even when everybody else was on all cylinders. Grant, of course, shot 1 of 12 from the field in the previous game. And I got around to watching Thinking Basketball's video on Toumani Camara's defense, so I did a little bit of a deeper dive on him. I did boost his overall rating up 2 points, slight boost to his 3-point rating, 2 points up to an 81, and then plus 5 to the following attributes: driving dunk, perimeter defense, interior defense, steal, speed, agility, help defense, and pass perception. And then I updated his badges as well. The high-flying denier, that's something that became very apparent from watching the Thinking Basketball video. He gets a lot of chase-down blocks. So that's a +2 to a gold. And then pogo stick, just because he's really good at timing his jumps. I also boosted that up from a silver to a gold. Off-ball pest, I've got that +1 to a silver. And then I added Challenger and Pick Dodger to him. And I'm going to try to watch a little bit more of Camara's defense in the coming weeks. I might end up boosting his perimeter defense rating, maybe like up to an 85, as he does pick up full court on a lot of players. I think he is a stronger perimeter defender than he is a interior defender. But I think overall he's probably at his best in help situations, getting a lot of those chase down blocks, kind of Matisse Thybulle style, which Ben Taylor goes over in the video, which I will link in the description. And then let's finish off with the Charlotte Hornets, who got crushed in this one. LaMelo Ball, or should I say LaMelo Ball, had 5 points on 1 of 10 shooting in 22 minutes. The Hornets overall shot 35% from the field, only 16% from three. Miles Bridges, he's played well over the last couple. He had 17 points in 24 minutes. Obviously, they got some extended garbage time, sat the starters. In this one, Nick Smith Jr., he had 15 points. I can't even find him because despite the lines, like his efficiency is lacking. That's why his overall rating isn't really up to snuff. 15 points, but on 6 of 18 shooting, 0 for 5 from 3 in 33 minutes. So not really doing a ton with the extended playing time that he's got down the stretch. So I don't know. They don't really have a ton of other options to like go to for offense. I'm hoping Josh Okogie comes back and gets to kind of play for a rotation spot. And TJ Salon, again, like had another garbage game. Like what a waste of a draft pick. Donovan Clingan had a good one, a good game in this one, and he's really who the Hornets should have drafted rather than Salon. But thank you guys for watching this Real 2K recap. I hope you liked the deeper dives on a lot of players. It's something that I try to do when there are a lower amount of games on the schedule for any given day. And let me know in the comments if you think there's any players that I need to focus a little in more on. Thank you again for watching, and peace. I'll see you guys later.